Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a long overdue update. What's new here on this channel? This is my first update for the Panners pan, which was created by Elizabeth or at Lizkookypants on Instagram. This is a project pan designed to spread the love to our favorite panners. So this is a rolling, ongoing, forever type of project. We chose 10 of our favorite panners, and then we continue to roll in more of our favorite panners as we meet the goals on the products that we assigned to them that like either they have panned or relate to the panner in some way. I hope I've explained that okay. I absolutely love spreading the love and supporting other panners, both here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. I did have some feedback on my intro that you guys would like to see pictures of who I'm talking about in case you are not familiar with them, and I totally agree with that. So I am going to be popping in pictures for each panner that I'm talking about. Without further ado, let's jump into it. I'm going to start off with Lizkookypants because of course she created this project. She creates so many amazingly creative project ideas. I wish I could do all of them, but you guys know I'm a super slow panner as it is, but with this one I just had to jump on board even though I'm already overwhelmed. And for Liz, I chose the Body Shop Body Butter. This is the Wild Argan Oil one. I'll insert a picture of where I was, and this is where I am now. I've only used it 3 times. Something about a tub of body butter versus a squeeze tube of body lotion, I just don't ever want to reach into this. I don't know if it's because I don't want to stick my fingers in here or what, but I will be like annoyed with how dry my body is after I get out of the shower. It's cold here. I live in Canada. I could be using this product. It's just something psychological I need to get over, I guess. The reason I chose this for Liz is because, like her, I don't feel that I need a body butter in my collection. I don't really like the way that they feel. She recently finished her very last one, so her category is completely finished, and I would like my category to be at 0 as well. Even in winter, I just don't enjoy a body butter as much as other type of body moisturizers, if that makes sense. So my goal is obviously to finish this. I feel like there's not that much left, like if I could just remember to use it. Next, I've made amazing progress on this and I didn't even realize it until I marked my paper. This is for It's Just Steph. I think I talk about Steph in almost every single one of my videos. She's one of my favorite creators here on YouTube. She deserves so many more subscribers. She's almost at 10K, which is super, super exciting. And there were a lot of products that I hummed and hawed over adding in for Steph, but I settled on the Milk Makeup Lip Balm in the shade Canatonic. Steph loves lip balms. She's actually the one that convinced me to purchase this one, and I've been using it a lot. I have 19 times marked on my paper, but because it was a lip balm and I would toss it in my coat pocket or in my diaper bag or whatever, I don't think that's accurate. I think I've used it much more than that. I have so little left, and I didn't even realize because I always just roll up enough to use, and like since I put it in, I wasn't like trying to twist it all the way up to see how much I had left until I needed to mark my paper for filming this video. I can definitely have this finished for the next update. If I don't, that is really embarrassing, and then I will roll in another panner, of course. This is a good maintenance lip balm. It's a good lip balm to just throw on in the morning, but if your lips are actually chapped or feeling really dry, these lip balms are not going to cut it for you. I do like the shade of this. It's a tinted like rosy pink kind of shade, but it's not too light. It's not like a bubblegummy type of pink. I like it. If it were on sale, I would pick up another one, but again, not if my lips are actually really dry and chapped. Next up for Chic Geek, I wanted to throw in her #1 favorite palette in her collection, at least it was at the time of her ranking all her eyeshadow palettes video, and that is ColourPop So Jaded. I bought this earlier this year. No, I got this for my birthday, which is in January, and I, like all of my makeup, it hasn't gotten enough love from me, and I figured fall winter is the perfect time to be using this palette. I didn't set a specific shade to hit pan on. I just want to use this palette in some capacity 30 times before rolling it out. I think it just needs some more love from me. I didn't think to take pictures of all the looks I've created. I am wearing it today on my lower lash line. I have the shade Emerald smoked out, and I have the Milani Soft and Sultry on my top lid. And I did actually try a glitter and I hated it. I am not a pressed glitter girl, but that one, Topaz, just looked so beautiful. I tried to top it onto a look and I just really didn't like how it turned out. I really do like the Super Shock in here, but I still haven't even used every single shade in this palette. These palettes, the 30 pan by ColourPop, aren't as big as I was worried. I thought it would be almost as big as a Morphe 35 eyeshadow palette, but it's really not. So I wouldn't mind getting more of these. I don't think I would want, I say this and watch, I'll probably buy it someday, but like the Bare Necessities and the Stone Cold Fox, because they're so monochromatic. Like this palette is really big, but there's so much variety within here. So I really like that. There are 2 products I haven't used even once yet in this project because I've just had so much on the go. The first is for Paula, or A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It. I love Paula's channel so much, and if there's one thing I think about when it comes to Paula in terms of panning is purple. Purple eyeshadow. She has the most beautiful purple hair. She has been panning purple eyeshadows for so long, and she always has the most beautiful purple looks, and I know that she really loves this ColourPop Super Shock shadow in the shade Koosh. It's really beautiful. I do have a dip in it just from before. It wasn't new when I rolled it into this project, but I just haven't had a chance to use it. I considered putting it on my inner corner or like as a topper on this look today, but I decided not to. I want to like give this disclaimer, I guess. I kind of did in the comments of my intro. I took full advantage of the fact that this project does not have an end date. So I chose products that I might not, I know I won't meet my goal on for a very long time, but I thought represented the panners I chose really well. I wanted to match the product to the panner as best I could, even if that meant it would be a long haul product or one that I couldn't use right away. I hope that makes sense because there wasn't a time limit on it. And you'll see that as we move further along. The other product I haven't used even once yet in this project is the Body Shop Honey Bronzer. I chose this for Rebecca Morgan because I had been trying to hit pan in this for years of consistent use. It's a very light bronzer, and I know this will be my go-to bronzer in like January, February, maybe even some December time because it is so light. Once my tan is completely gone, she finished a whole bronzer, like this whole bronzer, why am I so tongue-tied? Last year, I believe. I was so impressed. I do have a baby pan in there now and a huge dip. And my goal is to have a full ring showing to roll this out. I don't think I can finish it anytime soon, but I do have like a speck of pan, but I want like a really big juicy pan. For Jessica Lee, I chose a Buxom Lip Gloss Mini. She has panned countless Buxom glosses, so I chose my mini in White Russian. mostly because I have two of these. I have a full size and a mini of White Russian. I've only used it a handful of times. I just quickly topped it on my lip today before filming, like just now. I can make a new line. I will after this video and insert a picture. It's about halfway through the B of Buxom now, and it was pretty full to the top. I'm clearly not actually focusing on this. Lip gloss is a bit tricky nowadays with the masks, aren't they? Before, when panning a lip gloss or just wearing lip gloss in general, it was a product I would reapply often throughout the day. Now I'm either just applying it to film a video like I did just now, like I just put on lip gloss at 8 p.m. Or if I'm doing my makeup in the morning, knowing I'm going to go to the store later or something, if I put a lip gloss on in the morning, I'm not reapplying because I don't want it to still kind of be there when I put my mask on, because it just smears everywhere. It feels gross. The mask sticks to your mouth. It's not a fun time. So while I'm happy with the 4 uses I've used it, usually 4 uses would have, because I count uses as like days, brought it down more. I hope that makes sense. Let's just do this now. For Alexi, she is the creator of Pan Those Eyeshadows, which is a project that has blown up. I love that project so much. I cannot pan another eyeshadow right now. Like, I'm just not doing very well with those projects. So I really wanted to do Alexi justice, and the other project I really thought of her is Throwing Shade, and that was where in that project you randomly selected 3 eyeshadow palettes per month. You created one look with each palette, like one look with each palette, and then one look combining all 3 palettes in one eye look. So for Alexi, I wanted to randomize an eyeshadow with each update and use it 3 times and create 3 very different looks. So for the first, or in the intro, I randomized the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, and I do want to pop in the pictures of the looks that I did. The first is a really warm eye and then a purple lower lash line. So I used the shades like Baja. Guilt Trip is the purple lower lash line. I am panning that in my Pan Those eyeshadows. And I believe, do I have Ignite on my lid maybe? I can't quite remember. Maybe I should have wrote it down. But so that was a really like warm orangey look. Next up, I have more of a pinky purple look, again using Guilt Trip because, like I said, that's in my Pan Those eyeshadows, but I used Hell Ride, Wild Heart, and Guilt Trip in that look, and maybe a little bit of Punk, because while it looks pretty brown in the pan, it has kind of a purpley undertone. And lastly, I created a cooler toned bluish look with Radio, Big Sky, what else did I use? Good as Gone, I think. And then for the crease, which I thought was really fun, I actually used Still Shot, and I left that like as vibrant as I could. It's that peachy matte shade, and I was really happy with how that turned out. So those were my 3 like very different looks that I created using this palette in honor of Alexi. I think before like rolling Alexi out of this project, I would like to do this 10 times, so like 30 uses, kind of like for Chic Geek. I want to use this palette 30 times. Just, I don't know, that's what I settled on. It might be convoluted, but I wanted to do Alexi justice while also not setting myself up for failure completely. So I hope I did a good job. I hope you guys liked the looks I created with my Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Obviously, if I roll in a really small palette or a completely monochromatic palette, it will be a little harder to create 3 completely different looks, but I will try my best. So let me just randomize a new palette to represent Alexi. I believe I have 53 eyeshadow palettes. I didn't really check my inventory very well, so I might be wrong on that, but what are the chances I'll get number 53 and maybe I only have 52 eyeshadows? I don't know. Here is the Pretty Random app. I have in the numbers 1 to 53, and I get the palette number 34. What are the chances? Okay, so palette number 34 is my Milani Soft and Sultry palette. It is super reflective. You can see my pajama pants, which is the eyeshadows I'm wearing today. This is just in my shop, my stash. It is not in any projects or anything right now. That is so weird. Same with the first time I rolled in Born to Run, which is already in my pan, those eyeshadows. Very spooky. So this is just a cool toned neutrals palette. I pulled this into my shop, my stash, to like scratch the itch of the Natasha Denona Glam palette because one, clearly I have cool tones. I have other cool toned eyeshadow palettes as well, and I don't wear them very often. And two, Natasha Denona is not in my price range, so I had pulled this in my shop, my stash, to maybe follow along with some tutorials from the Glam palette and feel like I'm participating, but with this palette, and I am liking it a lot so far. I still don't feel like cool tones necessarily look the best on me because I have a neutral leaning warm undertones, but I think it's fun to play with every once in a while. So I'll be using this 3 times, with trying my best to make 3, varied looks and share those with you in the next update. Okay, just 3 more products to go. The Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, I chose this for Love Heatherette. Heather has very seasonal makeup tastes, and I feel like I do too, to a certain extent. She has favorites for each season in like all makeup products, I believe, but what stands out to me the most are her 4, that was 3, Emily, 4 go-to bronzers, 1 for each season, and the Too Faced Chocolate bronzer is her fall bronzer, I believe, and so I thought I have a mini of that. Let me try and hit pan in it. I haven't used it all that much. I am wearing it today. Mine is in medium to deep, which clearly I have a fair skin tone, so I have to be very light-handed, but it is quite powdery because it's on the older side, so I'm hoping it won't take me 500 years, maybe just 100 years to hit pan in this bronzer. For some reason, I'm just really into hitting pan in all of my bronzers this year, and I've been cycling through them pretty well so far. And yeah, this is the one I want to work on for Heather. For Alejandra Lisette, I of course had to choose a lip liner. Alex flies through lip liners all the time. I'm so impressed. And panning lip liners this year has reminded me to reach for them more often. I have made decent progress on this. There is still quite a bit to go. I was hoping I could maybe have this as an empty for the year. I'm not sure about that. I definitely need to be doing my makeup more often, but this does go really well with a lot of the other lip products that I'm currently panning. And lastly, I know she's not a panner in the sense of the other 9 ladies I've shared today, but Kelly Gooch always has at least one project pan going on her channel. She's one of the bigger YouTubers, I guess, who does project pans and has a more curated makeup collection and does a really good job at using up makeup despite getting so much in PR and being a review-based channel as well. And I made this so hard on myself, but the product that I immediately think of when it comes to Kelly Gooch and her panning is the Tarte Party Blush. I know a ton of people are panning this, but I've never hit pan in a blush before, and that is my goal. I've only reached for this one time since the intro because I was focusing on something else. I mean, there are other products I could have chosen, but this is like one of the really amazing feats for her panning, so I wanted to pick something that...
Almost done?
Yeah, I am. I'm on my last product. But like I mentioned in my disclaimer, I really wanted to choose products that represented the panners. I chose the best way that I thought that I could, and for Kelly that meant the Tarte Party Blush, even though this probably means it's going to be in the project forever. It's fine. It's a really nice neutral blush. It does go with everything. I am panning other blushes. So again, I took advantage of the fact that this doesn't have an end date. I don't need to be in a rush with this. I can still focus on the other 2 blushes I have in projects that will end on December 31st and not really worry about this. The one time I used it, it was to diffuse a really bright blush that I applied too heavy-handed, because this is a good tone to like tone down a blush. So that's everything for this update. I didn't have any empties. Of course, I rolled in a new palette for Alexi just because that is like only 3 uses per update to cycle through some more palettes and create some fun looks. So this was a given. Next update, I will for sure have the Milk Lip Balm done for Steph, and we will be rolling in a new panner to showcase, and maybe even the Body Shop Body Butter. I don't have high hopes for this, but this won't be in the project for like too long compared to some of the other products. That's it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that I know, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!